Hello everyone, today I'm continuing my portrait practice, exploring drawing methods and developing an interesting personal style. First, I position the subject in a suitable place on the paper according to the composition. This is the first step, drawing the outer contour. I use simple lines to mark the top, bottom, left, and right positions of the head, then use a series of long lines to roughly form a boundary between the head and the background. Once the outer contour is roughly done, I move on to the so-called inner contour, mainly the facial outline. In this drawing, that includes the face shape, hairline, neck, shoulders, and other major structural lines. After that, I draw the brow line to roughly locate the eyebrows, and a short horizontal line for the base of the nose. Then I mark lines connecting the four eye corners and the lower eyelids to set the eye positions. For the mouth, I also use simple straight lines to find its general placement. The corners of the mouth are key points, and there is a technique to position them, finding corresponding horizontal and vertical references to decide exactly where they should be. Next, I sketch the outline of the eyebrows, then the eyes, especially the upper and lower eyelids. I draw both eyes in relation to each other, maintaining an overall view. The shape of the eyes is crucial as the focal point of the portrait, making them the most important part to depict. Although this step only involves rough outlines, I still pay close attention to overall accuracy to lay a solid foundation for later work. After the eyes, I sketch the general shape of the nose. The nose is another key part of the portrait, being the most prominent and three-dimensional feature on the face. To show its volume, I focus on the shifts of the nasal bridge, especially the form changes at the tip and nostrils. I observe and analyze the structural planes of the model's nose and simplify the boundary lines where the forms turn. Finally, I draw the rough outline of the mouth. This step is relatively simple, using just a few lines to summarize its shape. However, I vary the pressure of the lines as needed, because the transitions around the mouth are not rigid, but vivid and multidimensional, which should be shown through lines of different weight. Once I have sketched the simple outlines of all facial features, I then draw the general shape of the irises and pupils, keeping them rough at first. Next is the hair. I start by simplifying its complex form into large blocks. Personally, I believe that besides the facial features, the main difficulty in portraiture is drawing hair. How do I express its beauty and show personal style through it? This is a topic I am particularly interested in studying. Moving into detailed rendering, my method is to work into steps, gradually deepening the pencil tones instead of finishing everything at once. I refine the original outlines, strengthening some lines, darkening others, and adding details. Besides line work, I focus on shading and rendering light and shadow. I use percentages to set different tonal values and build them up in 2 or 3 layers. In the first layer, the darkest tone only reaches 70%. With lighter areas kept correspondingly pale, leaving room for later adjustments and corrections. Rendering the eyes remains the key focus, requiring more time and careful attention to small details. Even tiny differences in how the eyes are shaped can create a completely different feeling. This is understandable because humans are highly sensitive to eyes from daily life experience. The slightest change in eye shape can alter the expression we perceive. Therefore, Drawing the eyes well is the most important and difficult part of a portrait. While drawing the nose and mouth, I also focus on the three-dimensional feeling of the face, using pencil tones to show volume and the soft, rounded transitions of the face. This is another challenge, especially for female faces, where many transitions are subtle with gentle changes in light and shadow, making them hard to render naturally and accurately. I have to draw carefully through observation and comparison. For the hair tones, I also start by establishing a sense of overall volume with relatively light shades, defining large structural shifts and major light and shadow areas. However, I sometimes find myself focusing too much on complex hair details, making the drawing look messy and fragmented without a unified, harmonious beauty. I need to correct this bad habit and learn to simplify complex forms. Now I enter the second round of detailed rendering. By this stage, the final effect of the artwork is mostly determined. I further deepen the pencil tones, with the darkest areas reaching at least 80% black, the deepest shadows in the picture, such as the pupils, nostrils, and dark corners of the mouth. The full range of tonal layers is now distinct, and the portrait becomes clearer and more defined. I personally find drawing hair very enjoyable. Its form is full of variety and rich in interesting details, yet achieving a harmonious and lively overall look is also quite challenging for me at my current level. Through practicing hair, I have gained a lot of experience in perceiving the beauty of varied forms and expressing them in drawing. Simply put, it is about capturing the beauty of the hair I see. It does not always have to be exactly the same as the models. Sometimes accidental and spontaneous brushstrokes create beautiful and even more interesting results that differ from the reference, and I think these variations should be preserved. There is no need to copy every single detail perfectly. Yes, for this practice, I use the three-step method of gradually deepening tones. This is the third layer, where the darkest areas reach full 100% black. Not much needs to be added at this stage, but it defines the final look and serves as the last chance for adjustments. The most important thing is to view the artwork as a whole, checking what needs refining in shape or tone, so that every detail serves the overall composition. Honestly, I am not entirely satisfied with this piece. I feel the hair looks a bit messy and lacks a unified sense of beauty. This is an area where I still need improvement, and I hope to make progress in my next drawing practice. I am honored that you took the time to watch my drawing process. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave a message so we can exchange ideas. Thank you. If you enjoyed it, please follow my channel, like and share to let more people join our community. See you next time.